AEW has finally got a date on when for their TV deal. October 2nd on, I believe that's a Wednesday night. So that Wednesday night Dynamite show, I think their name is probably gonna be true.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Yep, on TNT.
TNT.
Because you know
coming back to TNT.
And you know what comes out on the 4th of October?
What?
SmackDown to Fox.
Oh, so that
October 4th, that Friday, is the first Fox SmackDown.
I'm sure this was done strategically. And I'm not mad at them for that. Because WWE has clearly done things strategically to take AEW viewers or make people decide, not realizing you got something on the network, I'm going to just watch this and watch that later. But whatever. So, I'm not mad at it. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to see how it turns out for AEW, like who's going to have the better numbers that week. AEW or SmackDown. So, what y'all see?
Well, it's going to have millions of viewers. TNA had millions of viewers when it went for the first week. It went head to head with WWE, and it just died after that. Yeah. So, I'm excited for it.
Something new.
Because this is, I haven't had wrestling on TNT since 2001.
Whew. Lord.
And since the whole Monday Night Wars, when I was a faithful,
we were in middle school.
Yep,
Jesus Christ.
a faithful WCW watcher. Faithful, I was.
I can't say that.
I know. I'm saying, but until the finger poke of doom is when I start turning on to the attitude era, and I said, "Fuck you, Hogan.
Not the finger poke.
Fuck you, Nash. Fuck the NWO. Fuck you." That's what I was saying.
I feel you.
So now I was listening to Solid Monster, and he was saying things that he expects for the opening show, and the only thing is there's something I'm much expecting, other than they're going to go balls to the wall on this thing. I just want to see story progression.
I have one thing I don't want to see. I do not want to see a shot at WWE every week.
I don't want to see that either.
I want them to build their own product enough that we'll come back to watch. Just like story progression.
Yeah, because we know Raw will be there Monday, and I don't want a shot of what happened on Raw to happen on Wednesday when AEW comes on. I don't let this. Oh, they messed that up. Let me do mine's better. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't, because it's gonna end up biting you in the ass in the end.
And I pray they don't do that shit. I really don't. But I also want them to, because I know people like Chubbs is going to think like this. We got an indie TV show.
Yeah. I
want y'all to realize something. If you do, like the match the Young Bucks had with the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega and that other guy, and it was a fast-paced back and forth, a lot of action match.
That was a Street Fighter theme.
Yeah.
Entrance, right? Yeah. Okay.
That was a high-octane back and forth kind of match. You can't have it every week.
Every week, I was about to say that you cannot do that every week, and you cannot do that. That's not always going to progress your story.
It's not, and on top of that, it's going to get really old, really fast,
quick. Oh goodness.
Really old, really fast.
I see. See 205 Live.
Yeah.
Because it seemed cool at first, and then people were just like, "I'm not watching this no more."
Well, okay, it's kind of
that was not all their fault.
It's kind of opposite. It kind of was. I want to watch 205 Live until now. It's like, let me check out 205 Live.
Well, now it's gone. Now it's about to be gone.
Yeah. I will say, you can still have good matches, but you need to pick and choose the quality of matches, such as the women. I know the women is not going to be as high octane as a Young Bucks match is, but they can still have great matches.
Yeah.
Your main event should deliver.
Yeah.
And you should have some matches in between this like this. Like you can still have a good match without pulling out big ass moves. Now, granted, this is the pilot. You have to bring out something for the pilot because it's just a pilot. But after the pilot, after that goes off the air, you go to building to your big shows, and then and you can give them just enough to engage to see what comes back next week.
Yeah.
That's what you need to make them do, because if you exhaust all that, and say if you have 5-star matches, and people are like, oh man, that was the greatest thing ever, I'm going to tune in next week. Yeah, you're going to tune in next week, but then if you keep seeing the same format over and over again, it's going to get really old really fast. That's happened to WWE, where people want admit it or not. That's happened to WCW, that's happened to TNT, that's happened to everything.
That I think is another case of you got to listen to the old heads, as we would call them, because several people have come out and said, look, while people like the Young Bucks are entertaining to watch, you cannot just have a spot fest every match you have. You're going to burn out, your audience is going to burn out, and eventually people are just going to get tired of seeing it. So here's the thing, I haven't seen that many of their matches to say, are they decent like wrestlers if they're not doing constant spots? Can they put on decent match? I'm not saying they can't. I haven't seen enough. So I'm just curious, and also I'm curious how long it's going to be. Did they say how long the show's going to be each week?
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay.
2 hours. 2 hours.
I think 2 hours is a sweet spot, because NXT I feel like it's not long enough. Raw is too long. So 2 hours, I feel like you got enough time to do something with. So we shall see. I'm curious.
I'm excited for it. October's going to be, hopefully, because
it's going to be a lit month.
Because that whole week, we got our son's birthday at the end of that week.
Yep.
On that Saturday, I got 3 shows of wrestling, Raw, SmackDown, and the new thing of Fox, and hopefully the game come out. So, usually the first week of October be love for me.
It's going to be a very, very, very packed month.
Very packed month, but I'm saying because right now, it's a dry month.